Okay, so get this right. Today we're diving into something that seriously feels like it's straight out of science fiction.
Oh, yeah.
Project Mariner.
Okay. I'm intrigued.
So like imagine this. Your web browser.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just like a window to look through at the internet. It's like this AI-powered assistant
Okay.
that can actually like understand what on your screen and then like actually do things for you. Wild.
Sounds pretty futuristic.
Yeah, I know. But let's before we get too carried away with all the possibilities here.
Sure.
Let's like what even is Project Mariner?
So, Project Mariner at its core is really a research project.
Okay.
And it's exploring this whole idea of like, how are we going to be interacting with technology in the future? And it all happens right there in our browser, the thing we use every day.
Every day. Yeah. That's what blows my mind. Like, okay, but what's the secret sauce? What makes it work?
Well, one of the key things is that it uses this thing called Gemini 2.0. Have you heard of that?
Maybe. I'm not sure.
So Gemini is this really sophisticated AI model. Think of it like the brains behind Mariner.
Okay.
It's been trained on a massive amount of data, like truly massive, which lets it process all kinds of information, understand language, even reason like we do.
Like reason like a human.
Yeah, to a certain extent. But what's really cool is how Mariner takes that AI power and combines it with this really deep understanding of how the web browser works.
The source have mentioned this thing called multimodality. I don't even know what that means.
Yeah, so it's not just about understanding text, like you were saying.
Right.
Multimodality means Mariner can process way more than just words.
Mm-hmm.
So it can actually make sense of images. It can understand those annoying drop-down menus we all have to deal with. Even code the stuff websites are built on.
Wait, so like if I'm on a website looking at like a picture of my dream vacation spot,
Uh-huh.
Mariner can like see that picture too and understand it?
Exactly. Like you could be looking at that picture and be like, hey, find me a hotel that looks just like this, but I want it to be closer to the beach. Mariner gets what you mean, what you're seeing, and it'll actually go and do it.
No way.
And it's not just typing commands either, right? You can literally talk to your browser.
Whoa.
And as it's working, it's giving you this visual feedback, like you're actually working with it on this.
Okay, now my mind is officially blown. I'm picturing myself having a full-blown conversation with my web browser.
Right.
And it's not just listening to me rant, it's actually getting it, and then doing stuff based on what I said.
That's exactly it. It's this whole browser interaction piece of the puzzle.
Okay.
Mariner can actually navigate around websites, click those buttons, fill out those forms, all those super tedious things we do online all the time. It can handle it.
It's like having a little digital assistant living right inside my browser?
Exactly, like a super efficient one.
Okay, I'm going to be honest. I am terrible at booking flights. I spend hours like hopping between tabs, trying to compare prices, and it's
Oh, tell me about it.
a nightmare. So how would Mariner like help me out with this?
I mean, it could totally revolutionize the way you travel. Imagine, right? You just tell Mariner, book me the cheapest flight to Hawaii, next month, but make sure there's a layover in California, and bam, it just takes care of it.
Wow.
No more switching back and forth between all those different websites and all those prices. And it can even pull information from other places, right? Like your emails, your calendar, to help you get things done even faster.
Talk about a time saver. But websites, let's be real, sometimes they can be confusing, even for me.
Right.
What happens if Mariner gets stuck or like misinterprets something,
Yeah, that's where the reasoning part comes in. So Mariner isn't just blindly following your instructions. It's designed to take a task, even a complicated one, and break it down into all these smaller steps.
Okay.
And it's figuring out like the best way to get to what you ask for. And this is important. If it hits something it doesn't understand, it's smart enough to like ask you for clarification.
So it's not just clicking around. It's actually like understanding the connections between different things on the page.
Yeah.
And then figuring out like, okay, what's the smartest way to get this done? It's actually like reasoning.
Yeah, exactly. And to make sure you're comfortable with this like level of AI doing things for you, Mariner shows you what it's thinking.
Oh, cool.
Like it's transparent about how it's approaching a task, so you can follow along and be like, yep, that's what I wanted.
This all sounds seriously impressive, but gotta ask, does it actually live up to the hype? Like, how do we know that Mariner actually works?
That's a super fair question. So the researchers behind Project Mariner, they put it through some really tough tests using these benchmarks called ScreenSpot and Web Voyager.
Okay.
ScreenSpot basically measures how well Mariner understands what it's seeing on the screen,
Uh-huh.
While Web Voyager, that one tests its ability to actually like interact with real websites out there in the world.
And drum roll, please. Did it pass?
It did with flying colors. Mariner got like an 84% success rate on screen spot, which is pretty amazing.
Wow.
And then 83.5% on the single agent Web Voyager test. They even did this more complex version of Web Voyager that uses this technique called tree search, and it got, wait for it, a 90.5% success rate.
That's incredible. Like, it seems like Mariner could seriously change the way we use the internet, like, every day. I don't know about you, but I'm already thinking of all the things I could get it to do.
Oh, yeah, me too. Just thinking about the possibilities gets me excited, like managing calendars, booking appointments, even doing research, shopping, all that could become so much easier.
It really makes you think, right? This level of AI just woken into our lives.
Yeah.
So I got to ask you, dear listener, if you had Project Mariner right now, what's the very first thing you'd ask it to do?
Ooh, good question.
Let us know. We are dying to hear your ideas. And on that note, that's a wrap for today's deep dive into the amazing world of Project Mariner. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, everyone. ICA.